Video we are going to discuss the topic explanation of nuclear power plant with schematic block diagram. Now what is nuclear power plant? What is the basic of nuclear power plant? So ultimately the basic of nuclear power plant is same as the thermal power plant where we use coal as a fuel. So in thermal power plant and steam power plant, when we use coal as a fuel, then we have to burn the coal and then heat get generated, and then that heat is used to convert water into steam. But as the coal combustion takes place, there are so many disadvantages. Like it pollutes the atmosphere, it produces ash, it produces the flue gases, toxic gases. And that's why instead of generating the heat by coal combustion, we can generate the heat by using the process that is nuclear fission. So what is nuclear fission? So during the nuclear fission, huge amount of heat can be generated. So that heat can be used to raise the temperature of water, and then water can be converted into steam. So this is the basic of nuclear power plant. Now what exactly happened during the nuclear fission? So basically nuclear fission is the process of splitting of uranium atom. Splitting of an atom is called as nuclear fission. So here the nuclear material uranium-235 is bombarded with the neutron. So when uranium-235 is bombarded with the neutron, the uranium-235 atom gets splits. And during this process, again the neutrons are liberated. These neutrons are again bombarding on the uranium atom, and again there is splitting of uranium-235. So this process continues and called as chain reaction. So when this process continues, it generates huge amount of heat and develop huge amount of pressure. So anyhow, if we control the chain reaction, then we can only have the heat, and that heat can be used to convert water into steam. So that is the basic of nuclear power plant where nuclear fission is used. So here, what is the advantage of nuclear power plant? So 1 kg of uranium produces as much as heat produced by 4500 tons of high grade coal. So only 1 kg of uranium is enough to produce the heat as produced by 4500 tons of coal. So that's why the transportation cost reduces, and many advantages are there of nuclear power plants are there over the conventional coal power plant. Now what is the block diagram of nuclear power plant? So we can see here the different components of nuclear power plant. The main component of nuclear power plant is nuclear reactor. So nuclear reactor is a device in which the process of nuclear fission takes place. The uranium-235 are subjected to nuclear fission in the nuclear reactor, and huge amount of heat is getting liberated. Now this heat is then goes to heat exchanger. So for that purpose, coolant is used. So coolant can be of gas, liquid type. So coolant transfers the heat from nuclear reactor to heat exchanger, and in the heat exchanger, that heat is getting transferred to the water. And when the heat gets transferred to the water temperature increases and water gets converted into steam. And then that steam is converted into high pressure steam, and that high pressure steam then rotates the turbine, steam turbine. Now the steam turbine is mechanically coupled with the alternator, and as the steam turbine rotates, alternator also rotates. Sorry. And then this alternator converts that mechanical energy into electrical energy. So that electrical energy can be given to the grid. So this is the use of nuclear reactor, heat exchanger, steam turbine there. So after doing useful work in the steam turbine, the steam goes to the condenser where it is again converted into water and sent back to the heat exchanger. So this is the basic components of nuclear power plant. Now the main thing is that during the nuclear fission process, many radioactive materials get evolved. So we have to save the lives from these radioactive elements, and that's why the strong control system has to be implemented in the process of nuclear fission. So here we are controlling that nuclear fission process by using the control rods. So control rods are made up of cadmium. Now the property of cadmium is that cadmium is a good neutron absorber. So when cadmium rods, if the huge amount of heat is getting liberated, so the control rods are pulled inside that nuclear reactor, and that cadmium rods then absorb the neutrons. So very few neutrons are available for the nuclear fission. So the chain reaction can be controlled by using the control rods made up of cadmium. So this is the control system used for this nuclear reactor, which is very important. Now this is the block diagram the simple block diagram of nuclear power plant. So nuclear reactor is there. So after nuclear reactor there is heat exchanger, then from heat exchanger there is steam turbine mechanically coupled with alternator. So there is a shaft, then from that steam turbine there is condenser, and then condenser steam get converted into water, and then it is again fed to the heat exchanger through feed pump. Okay, and this is the cooling tower. So this is the simple block diagram of nuclear power plant. So I hope you understand the basic concept and basic block diagram of nuclear power plant. So please like, share and subscribe my channel Digital Blackboard. Thank you very much.